Okay, so first of all, we're going to break down the verse section, and very rudimental in terms of the chord sequence. The key thing to note with this song is that it's that repetitive, monotonous riff that characterizes the whole thing. And the great thing about using Dadgad for this song is that we can keep that going, change the root, and keep it going the whole song. And that's just something that we wouldn't be able to do in this configuration in standard. So it's, you know, it's another win for Dadgad, I suppose. A lot of people kind of shy away from using alternate tunings on electrics because the way that a lot of the strings are often lighter and it can go out of tune a lot easier. That's about being delicate and giving it the proper time, the attention that it needs, particularly when you're on stage and people are waiting. Don't give in to them. Make sure that it's in tune. But you get brilliant sounds, and the difference really is that you have to mute a lot harder with the sustain that you get on an electric guitar. If you let everything ring out, it's going to sound quite messy. But if you mute very heavily, you get a great kind of slinky, kind of chunky sound. If you use a warmer pickup, I'm using the neck and the middle on here. So with the right hand, we just start on the root, start on the A, and we just play that riff. So we catch the bottom two strings when we're doing the riff, when we start the riff off. And middle finger, I use on my kind of home chord here, which is the root there, which would be the D if I was down here, but obviously we're in A now. And we just go. That's the rhythm. Da, 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 da. Well, the floorboards ache and the heat pipes shake, but only when I'm home alone. And slide up to the D there. And I'm kind of catching up to the G string actually, but it's fine. Because we're in the open tuning and we're playing in the root key, you can catch these strings, and sometimes if they ring out, a bit of tremolo, it can sound really nice. Well, the floorboards ache and the heat pipes shake, but only when I'm home alone. Then we're gonna walk down on the bottom, keeping the same going on with the riff. So we go for the C on the bottom and then down to the B minor there. If you didn't know better than me, if you didn't know better than me. Back up to the D, you'd say they have a mind of their own. Digging a little bit on the next one because, well, this is where the band comes in on the record. It's like they're holding all our tension in from the night before and releasing it through the day. The lyrics are a little bit more visceral there, so give it more. Then the night rolls around again and again and again, and there isn't any more to say. Now, before we move on to the chorus section, it's worth noting that in the second verse, the chord sequence slightly changes. So it goes as hard to walk round this place. I actually slide up on the G string, slide up to the 14th fret. It's hard to walk round this place and divorce ourselves from the time we spent in it. On the record, that's where the drums come in, so I want to give it a lot more when we go back to do that. There are scars from hanging pictures, installing fixtures that were never meant to fit. All the same, until up the octave, so we slide for a change of texture there, so and then we're going to go to the F sharp minor, which is different to all the other verses, just for a different flavour really. It pops out, there's no pre-chorus in this song, so gives it that dynamic that we want. There's scars from when we threw things across the room. Kind of go for a chug chug bam, still in beat with what the drums are playing, or the drums in your head, but slightly choppier, just slightly mix it up. Easy though, just mute. Each of us got out the way. I just do a little, and then down to that D. You could do that, you could do another one, you could not do it. Doesn't really matter, because what really matters is hitting that D. And we'd only throw them whenever the mist had descended, and we'd said all we had to say. Just settling back into the groove. It's all about keeping the time on the groove. In these, and then into the chorus. So I'm just gonna wrap up this section by playing that second verse with the alternate chords from start to finish, and it goes like this. It's hard to walk around this place and divorce ourselves from the time we spent in it. There are scars from hanging pictures, installing fixtures that were never meant to fit. There are scars from when we threw things across the room, and each of us got out the way. Oh, and we'd only thrown them whenever the mist had descended, and we'd said all we had to say.